opened up in front of us to the Land of Dawn for the final game for Cloud9 and Xianyu Gaming.
All right, so this means a lot for both of these teams, right? It's your final statement in MSC. It's your final moment to show the world something here. We've seen a lot of almost from XYG so far, and I would actually love to see them push the envelope. They came in once again with a slightly different comp. Is this our first time seeing Rafaela, I'm pretty sure? First show at MSC so far. A little bit more of a, you know, classic support, but some possibilities around it, especially with the utility jungle.
Cold World, Marcuity, this is, I mean, they spoke a little bit about it, right? The anti-synergy that you kind of get with the Kagura and the Akai, but it's all subjective, bro. You know, it's all in your mind. It's all the mental state that you need. If you're a Chad, you can make it work. Marcuity seems like he wants to go for the aggressive route, getting the minions and recalling, just like that. That's the flair.
Just for the minions.
Just for the minions.
You got to, man. You got every time you get a small win. In the great words of LaFell, you know, it's all mental, man. If you think you can win, even if you've already lost groups.
Winning is relative, he would say, you know? Everything could be. But here, this time, it's already a bit different, right? For Basic, he went for the Bargain Hunter. Long is actually doing a good job in lane this time around on the Bruno with the Master Assassin and Fatal. So Long should be able to actually bully Basic out, especially considering, you know, Basic's already very, very low. Up top,
Milo taking a little bit of damage, but Yoan is there as well. Gets the first blood. E1 showing up there. XYG with first blood on the board.
They want to continue, it seems. Cold World. Ooh.
It's a lot of damage on a Cold World. Ain't nothing funny here. Mobazane now trying to make his way up top, but XYG doing a great job of blocking them off, and that's going to give them some gold plating. It's going to give them everything they need. They're going to move down to this turtle, though. Mobazane with Marcuity and Cold World, but it's 4 members of XYG ready to stop them, ready to not even let them enter here, and it's a tough start for Cloud9.
XYG holding out on this. Milo trying to go in. He doesn't have level 4 just yet, and you can see how much damage he is taking on that Benedetta. Zed's still on it. Marcuity looking for an angle. It does seem like for Cloud9, they can't go for it, and XYG will just be able to secure it without any contest whatsoever. And it's going to be tough for them.
And not only that, but Cloud9 wastes a lot of time even like trying to contest it. You know, sitting around the boundaries, they could have gone elsewhere, cleared some jungle, you know, cleared some lanes, maybe try to make a push onto the gold, but they just kind of sit on that distance as XYG does an amazing job at zoning them out of that box.
They really did. Xianyu Gaming utilizing these picks in the mid lane, getting the Prio up against the Kagura, and also getting more mobility with the Rafaela, the holy healing that gets you more movement speed. Milo very aggressively maneuvering forward here, but if you take a look at the XP, even though, you know, the Akai, we kind of thought that it would be very hard for him to go and farm up. Akai, Mobazane is still on top of the XP board. Long finally taking some damage, but this is the combo that they were talking about as well. Right as it was picked up, it's a flashback, a throwback to back in the day with Rafaela and Bruno being a very, very good combination. And this is why you get to dish out so much damage, you get that additional healing, and most importantly later on, mobility in the team fights, back and forth. You can make these fights a bit longer.
And you can dribble the ball, right? You can do the back and forth using the Rafaela. You can kind of do the dance step and get a couple shots off back. Oh, but Basic taking a lot of damage. E1 with another one. That's 2-0 right there. Cold World in a bad spot as well. Mobazane trying to come in, does have a heavy spin ready to go, decides not to use it just yet. Zed unloading. Marcuity now also in the fray of things. Frigid Glacier does come down. Cold World takes an abrasive rat to the face. Zed and XYG still dancing around the distance of this tower. They're going to try to make the push in. Mobazane down to about 30% health here. Up against Zed. Basic finally showing back up to things. Melo just locked in the Hunter Strike up top, and XYG, they put so much pressure on the mid and to the bottom, he's able to get all the gold plating off that top tier 3.
He does, right? But again, I feel like for Long, he did the same thing, and it's going to be way more worth it for him on a snowballing pick like the Bruno. And they're already setting up for the next neutral objective this time round. It's Zed first on there. E1 has been phenomenal. And a lot of these skirmishes circling Eagle.
Cold World, oh, gets a knock up on the runaway there, the fadeaway, I would say. Marcuity hiding out in the bush. Mobazane gonna be showing up soon. Can they contest this one? It's a 4v4, or a 5v5 at this point. Everybody in the turtle pit. Marcuity still playing the distance. Maybe looking for a nice yin-yang overturn, unable to throw anything out just yet. Mielo finally with the Electro final blow into the midst of the fight. Nice purify onto Zed. Mielo able to find the turtle. KLJ taking a lot of damage. Marcute able to find the yin-yang overturn onto Zed there. KLJ does get away. Cloud9 walking away with a member and a turtle.
Good response. Great from Cloud9, able to just play it out, force Xianyu Gaming to a spot that they're not comfortable with. Again, for Xianyu Gaming, it's very front-to-back composition. They need to have a very, very coordinated fight to actually make it work. Meanwhile, for Cloud9, it's kind of the same story that we had in game number 1, where they could actually attack from different angles, and that's exactly what they did. Mielo, final blow to start things off. Even though it looked kind of awkward, you know, he was able to get the Petrify without the final blow. It still worked out for them. They made it chaotic enough to a point where Xianyu couldn't go for the proper front-to-back. They couldn't attack any of the frontliners. They had to be zoned away by Mobazane, and this is why the heavy spin works out. That was what Lefel was talking about. Just look at it in this kind of way, man. Don't be pessimistic.
And everyone just has to do their own job and do it right. It's not about, you know, this comp isn't really as much about fighting as a team, right? Everyone, as long as Marcute can get a yin-yang onto somebody, comes one possibly onto Zed. A lot of damage onto Cold World. You know, even with the nerfs, the Appraisal's Wrath still hits hard.
It really does, man. Oh my goodness. It hit so hard, he had to purify out of it.
Most definitely. Mobazane now. Maybe in a little bit of trouble. XYG. Frederick Glacier does come down, does not connect onto anybody, but he's still frozen. Mielo goes down long with a long shot. Able to take him out there. Mobazane now just trying to fight for his own purple, but XYG might not want to let it happen. Marcute with the ending overturn, able to get some nice damage. Zed still gets away safely. Cold World going to try to chase him down, unable to get the kill and gets killed himself. Yi1 is the one, 3-0 and 1.
Oh, now Pride of Ice used up basic. Try to go for it, unable to do so. But I like for Cloud9 now, penalty zone, kill VJ.
Basic with his Mons Force needs to try to run away, kill VJ, but get some nice damage. Marcute there to help out. Flickers back over to the tower into safety.
Up top though, Long.
Ooh, nice eye for an eye. Getting a little bit of damage onto Long there. Able to use the Petrify, force out the Purify. But here comes Zed, pulling up. Appraisal's Wrath comes down. Mielo in a little bit of trouble. Zed wants to force the objective here. Force the moment, looking for Mobazane. Mobazane also taking a little bit of damage. They're down low. They need to get back to the jungle. XYG not letting up on the gas right now. They're going to try to drop down onto Yi1. Pride of Ice comes out, but it's not enough to save the day. Basic able to get the kill. Cold World goes down as well. It's a 1-for-1, and Basic escaped with his life.
Crazy fights all around the board. So many fights in Cloud9 utilize the chaos to go for the turtle. Mobazane does have the heavy spin, but take a look at the rest of XYG. Gonna go for the contest. Will Mobazane do it?
Zane taking a lot of damage. Penalty zone does come down. Heavy spin just to escape with his life. Turtle goes over to XYG.
Final turtle of the game going to XYG. Basic in the bottom lane, still just trying to look for the farm here, trying to look for a trade, a mirror play as he looks for the cross map there. But yeah, again, so many chaotic skirmishes going back and forth. Trex, and it does seem like for XYG, they have been able to pick up the advantage with that, right? They got a turret up top earlier, they got the turtle as well. They are able to stay consistent here in this game. But if you take a look at the farm department, it's Zed. 1,000 gold behind now of Mobazane. Mobazane on the Akai has been farming a lot better. And you can even see here for Zed, his priority isn't really on, you know, more defense or more damage. Usually, sometimes you see the Thunderbelt. He went for the Oracle. So he's trying to enable that Rafaela healing to be more prevalent as we get into the mid-game, together with Long, together with the rest of the team. And really, it's all about staying in the front line for Yi1, for Long, to deal some damage. I like what you said in the team fight earlier, right? The long shot, because technically that's exactly what he needs to do. Stay in the back as far as you can and dish out damage. Zed, he's losing a bit of HP, but he can always just sustain back up with the holy healing. It's all about the prolonged team fights for Xianyu Gaming as they wait for the next neutral objective. Cloud9 unable to look for anything on the map, but same goes for Xianyu. They have to just really hold out for now, wait for these objectives to go out, and I guess for Mielo, he can go for the wave clear, he can go for the split push, and that will force XYG to rotate, and they do rotate really quick. So again, it's kind of like a stalemate at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely a good spot. KLJ taking a little bit of damage, force the penalty zone defensively. Cold World also getting taken down. Also getting taken down to about half health. Yi1 though, man. This guy is 4-1-1, and you mentioned gold earlier. The crazy thing is, even though Zane is far ahead of Zed right now, ZU Gaming is leading right now by about 1,000 gold overall. And it just goes to show that a lot of members of ZNU Gaming are kind of stepping up. You mentioned Long earlier, and I think as long as they can play around that, if they can put all the eggs into that baskets, they have all the utilities they need to prolong the fights. Like you said, they have the heal, they have the freezes and the CC coming from Yi1. There's a lot of possibilities in their composition. Cloud9 needs to find a way to work around it if they want to take this game back into their hands. Zed gets a taunt onto Mobazane there. Oh, nice yin-yang overturn onto Long, but not able to do enough. Now Marcuti's forced to run away here. Marcuti still needs a little bit more damage, one more item.
That was great. They bait out the Purify and the Retribution. That stops ZNU Gaming for really holding out on the Lord, and now Cloud9 get a massive advantage out of it. It's a massive advantage because we really haven't been seeing a lot of these proactive plays, right? For Cloud9 now, the fact that they got a turret up top, that tier 1, enables them to step in the jungle a bit more aggressively, to look for these flanks as well. And for Milo, he's going to be able to do that now. Look at that, clearing up top wave, shoving it in, and then looking for an angle to rotate over to the turtle to find a flanking position. And just like that, Cold World goes in.
Cold World with the Kaka trying to come in. Out comes the penalty zone from Kiel VJ. Not going to be enough. ZNU and hold up on the top side. Long in a little bit of trouble. Milo able to get the kill along with Marcuti. XYG trying to vert up, and XYG are kind of really stuck in this grouped up composition. And Cloud9, you know, they're able to 3v5 them, they're able to 4v5 them, get these little skirmishes. Maybe no one goes down, but as you mentioned, they're able to get something to the top side, other towers. But XYG finds one of their own. Cold World goes down. Mobazane with a heavy spin, able to bring Zed all the way back to the tower. Praetor's Wrath comes down, and Mobazane forced to run back. Milo able to find Zed, though. It's a 2-for-1. Cloud9 does get the Lord, though, so it's a big win for them.
2-for-1. And the Lord, that's incredible value for Cloud9, and that's exactly the problem for XYG. They have a front-to-back composition that does really well in these team fights, but when are they ever going to go for these big team fights? Even here, penalty zone.
Penalty zone onto Mar and Mobazane. Kiel VJ able to pick up the kill. Milo now on the run, basic as well. XYG always finding a response, and look at Long going for the long shot once again. Basic back onto the towers. Milo able to lock down with the eye for eye. Mobazane there, gets hit by a freeze. Milo dashes back and catches a high tail out with Cold World. That's a little hit and run there.
Well played again to Milo there. We were just saying, you know, for XYG, they needed to look for a fight in Cloud9. They utilized Lord in the bottom lane, looked for a fight in the mid lane, did get picked up, but they were able to win out in the prolonged battle. That was something that we said XYG should have an advantage for. Another engagement onto E1.
Oh, Mobazane just hanging out under the tower. Fearless. I mean, when you're at this point, you gotta be fearless, right? Lord still coming. XYG just unable to keep up with the macro right now, unable to get all their lanes down. They're playing a little too tight. Basic with his Mon's Force, getting a couple shots on to kill VJ. Marcuti there, tossing out the umbrella, waiting for the moment to strike, waiting for that big yin-yang overturn. Milo up on the top side as well, trying to find an angle, and XYG just forced back.
That was just so good for Cloud9. The fact that they were able to make it so confusing for ZNU Gaming. They keep on going in, making ZNU Gaming think, all right, yo, we've been going for these fights alone, and it hasn't been working out. We need to be clumped up together. So whenever Cold World goes in, they're all grouped up. They completely forget that there are big waves crashing down on their base turrets. And yeah, you do have the holy defense, but brother, those are a few big waves coming down in your base. They got a base turret with that. That's incredible value. Sky Piercer now done for the GOAT himself, Milo. And in the mid lane too, we got Genius Wand, Divine Glaive, and the Glowing Wand. And even Mr. Zane's having a little bit of fun there. That's why he was able to farm up so fast. It's the cursed helmet here with the Molten Essence. I believe he just picked it up early to out-farm Zed. And you can see the effects of that. 2 levels ahead of Zed. Yi1. If you thought, you know, for the Aurora, she's icy enough, no. She's got the winner crown, fool. On top of the Pride of Ice, on top of the Frigid Glacier. I know it's hot in Riyadh, but is it that hot?
She's cold. Cold-hearted, cold-blooded. Winter crown, fool. I can't get over that. I can't get over that. Now, all right. Kiel VJ. He's been always with this team to where we've been seeing Milo kind of dodge up to the top side, dodge down to the bottom side. And we noticed it a bit last game too. Kiel VJ really likes to kind of guide the team. And I'm wondering, you know, that has been almost one of the downfalls here. Kiel VJ needs to be the one to kind of watch these off lanes sometimes. And the rest of the team needs to be able to survive and fight without him sometimes. Because the thing is, they can't send Long over because he's the big damage dealer. They need Long to be hanging out behind E1 and behind God Yang just unloading those shots. And until they're able to do that, Mielo's just going to keep thrashing this top side.
Slowly but surely, again, for XYG, they gotta clump up together whenever they want to go for a neutral objective. For Cloud9, they'll utilize XYG's strength, and they'll utilize it to create a weakness. The weakness is up top, the far lane, always. Now it's E1 who's up top, and Cloud9 get all of the pressure back, all the prio around the Lord. This time enhanced, so they'll have a little bit more of that bargaining power when it comes down to these fights. And again, for Yi1, if he steps out a bit too far, if he tries to go and clear out the wave away or outside of that base, he's going to be caught by Mielo. He's going to have to use the Wonder Crown. He's going to use a Flicker at least. And now, for XYG, they try to just go for the fight. But again, these waves are making it as though they can't. Yi1 in the mid lane now has to deal with 2 waves. A slow push up top and a mid lane wave as well. XYG, they got to make a decision.
Basic brings out his Mon's Force. They're trying to delay XYG from even going back. XYG's not going to be able to contest this one, man. I think they need to just back off and start. I really think they need to send Killjay up there, someone else, because they need the CC.
Look at that.
They need the damage from their mid and their gold.
And now for Mielo, it's all about the waiting game. It's something Basic hasn't been able to do, but maybe Mielo is the one that can do it.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
XYG, you can see them, again, they're just sending E1, because again, I mean, I get you, right? KillVJ is the guy who should be the one matching up against Mielo, but again, he's also on a Terizla. The Aurora isn't mobile either, but I guess, you know, she clears the waves a bit faster compared to KillVJ, especially here in this game where he's really, you know, the frontliner for the team, so he doesn't really have a lot of damage to actually go for the clear. God Yang picks up going on too, and again, Mielo just constantly
still up at the top side,
forcing E1 to rotate over. But even then, Zed is still here. So Mobazane, every time he tries to go for the Lord Dance, this is the new Lord passive taunt in the mid lane.
Big jump on a Marcuti. Marcuti not going to be able to survive that one. Mon's Force does go down. Cloud9 able to rush the Lord, though. So it's a trade of Mar for Lord. And Mielo goes straight back up to that top side. Mobazane now getting taunted up. Takes a couple shots from Long. Basic there. Maybe help out. He doesn't have his Amon's Force. He's already used it to rush that Lord. Mobazane able to get the heavy spin. Brings Zed all the way back to base. Cold World just trying to help out. Mobazane goes down Long, able to pick up the kill, but there's a Lord coming down the top side with Mielo waiting on it.
Again for XYG, they win the team fight, they lose on the enhanced Lord, but for XYG, this is great because, unless Mielo...
Mielo gets stunned up, though. The Holy Baptism does lock on. He's able to just get back with the Electro Final Blow, able to just escape. And now there may not be able to be a push from Cloud9.
Cold World?
Hold on, Cold World. Able to just back off, but Cold World gets himself in some sticky situations sometimes.
That's why he brought the Purify. He can get out of these sticky, chaotic situations. Long up top. Look at this. This is going to be a long battle up top, you know, with the Lord. It's a 1v1. And he has the Athena Shield. He has the Windtalker, too. So he's properly built up. I'm looking at the build, and yeah, honestly, yeah, the Athena Shield definitely a bit more value compared to the Wind of Nature here, but at this point, it really does feel like for Xianyu Gaming, Long might actually sell the tough boots to go for a Wind of Nature or for some more damage. That's the trend that we've seen for Long, right? In the later stage of the game, he even goes for BOD, so he's a very aggressive gold laner. Maybe this time he doesn't, because the tenacity on the tough boots does help you a lot, especially when you already have the healing, the mobility there with your team and everybody peeling you away. The CC could be the biggest hurdle that you have to face off, so I completely understand if he doesn't go with the item swap. But still, even though, you know, Xianyu Gaming were able to you know, clear out the Lord, they're able to equalize the gold. Again, it's deja vu to game number 1, literally, but it's still the same thing too as game number 1. Cloud9 have the advantage when it comes to utilizing the far lane. Mielo is always there, and you can see him just trying to find an angle. Again, Mobazane walks up.
Oh, a lot of damage onto Long. Can he get the final shot there? Mielo with the Electro Final Blow. Able to lock on, but too much damage responding. Mielo, Immortality pops, and comes Marcuti with the yin-yang overturn. Still unable to find a target. Mobazane able to get the heavy spin onto Long there, but nobody's there to follow up with him. Mielo just trying to escape with his life right now. But look at Basic on the mid side, able to take the inhibitor, and this has been the mind games all game. Just playing the field, the whole map right now against XYG.
They're playing the basics of the game, the fundamentals.
The fundamentals.
And it's Basic who gets the basics down. get in the mid lane base turret. That's another massive advantage. They were able to get the 3-wave super minion push in game number 1. Now in game number 2, it's not 3, but it's 2. It's close enough, you know, quick match, just one off real quick. But for Mielo, he's going to be able to just clear out these waves so easily. And again, for XYG, it's the same problem that they've been facing all throughout the game. Who do they send to match up Mielo? I would say at this point, try to kill Mielo before the Lord. Try to go for it, right? You lose the Evolve Lord if C9 are quick enough to do so, but you got to be decisive as well. They actually do shove in the bottom lane, and now they have a lot of pressure. Basic walks up, has done a lot of damage to Zed's in.
Mobazane gonna get frozen up, brought down, able to just get away. No, Kill VJ finds the kill, and that's no retribution for Cloud9. XYG, this is probably the opportunity to just go for the rush, try to get this Lord as fast as possible. Basic into the backside, catching that Eagle. A little bit of damage, loses the Zaman's Force, wasted, just sitting at the Lord pit, and he's not able to capitalize on anything there. Cloud9 maybe looking for the steal here. Zed able to get their first Lord here. It's going to be huge for XYG. Minions are on the base, but they should be able to free up some space now.
Evolved Lord for XYG. That's a massive structure or objective to take here at the 20th minute of the game. Now you're able to go for the base turrets. And again, the biggest problem for XYG has been the far lanes. If now they get a few base turrets, if they're able to get 3, phenomenal stuff. But if they get the base turret in the far lane, that's going to be good enough, because then they will actually have at least, you know, the bottom lane go head-to-head, 50-50. It won't always be a slow push towards their side. Up top, E1 versus Mielo.
Ooh.
Winner Crown Fu!
And Winner Crown Fu, and he's not able to get that kill. And now he's got to try to get back to base. Mobazane just taking so much damage in a huge penalty zone from Kill VJ. XYG looking for a possible finish here. A lot of damage on the Cold World. Mielo goes down. XYG just got to lock onto the base. Basic drops down to the Zaman's Force. Base down to about 60%. Down goes Kill VJ. Immortality does pop. Lord finally melted down. Mobazane able to just defend, and XYG unable to close it. They decide to back off here without E1. They're unable to get the big play happen, but Cloud9 forced on the defense.
They have more waves to play with. It's not over just yet. They can go with the enhanced minions now in the mid lane. And remember, it's only Mar and Basic, one frontliner to play with.
Yeah, and it's 30 seconds on the clock for Mielo, 33 for Cold World. Zed able to get the taunt. The Frigid comes down. Basic does not get thrown, but in comes Kill VJ once again with the big penalty zone. Out comes the Winner Crown from Arcuti. One cannon minion left. XYG still unable to close it out just yet. Cloud9 hanging on for dear life, though.
10 seconds. They got another wave in the mid lane. Mielo is up in 6 seconds. They can go for the base turret first here, and Zed, they're making a decision. They're going to go for it.
Mobazane dashes up. Zed gets a lock, the taunt. Down comes Zaman's Force. Basic now trying to respond. Mobazane low, use the heavy spin just to get away. Another wave coming down the boss side. Cloud9 still trying to defend. Finally, minions come out of their base to relieve some space, give them a breath. But XYG have taken the game back into their hands. Whole world getting frozen. This is dangerous for Cloud9. Look at Mielo once again trying to play the angle, trying to get to the backside here.
Okay. Now finally, for both these teams, they're able to reset completely. Mielo unable to really force the issue on XYG. Bottom lane base turret, that's the far lane. That is exactly what XYG need to go for these neutral objective contests. You can see the bit. Oh, massive shield, by the way, from Basic there. Zed still wants to fight here. By the way, again, for them, this is it, right? It already kind of denies the threat of the split push, of the segue play from happening from Cloud9. Mielo is going to struggle a whole lot to actually clear those waves. Even if he does build a wave, it's always going to be good for XYG. They're always going to be able to defend that wave. So all they need to do now is take care of the close lane within their reach in the top lane. Yuan's been able to deal with the far lane. He should be able to deal with the top lane push all the time, unless Mielo, of course, goes in. Final blow!
Mielo once again going in for it. The Winter Crown does come out. And there's still a Pride of Ice there. Can he get the kill? No! Mielo with the immortality, it pops. Cold World trying to come in and save the day, but KLJ already got the kill. Zed now gonna be able to possibly hold down this pit. Mark Cutie clearing down the bot side along with Basic. What is Cloud9's plan here? They're completely split up, and ZNU Gaming are ready for any cheeky plays they want to pull.
XYG just need to stay decisive at this point of game. They have a big advantage with Mielo down. Bottom lane, it's Cold World with Basic. It's an immortality.
They're locking on to E1. A lot of damage. E1 still finally does go down. The Pride of Ice does pop.
Immortality.
Has the immortality. Can they get the finish here? The Frozen, the outplay! E1 is the one
Oh.
once again, and Basic is gonna go down. Keel VJ showing up. That's a 2 for 0, and Lord falls down to ZNU Gaming. Cloud9 in shambles right now. Mobazane up against 3.
Retry.
10 seconds on the clock for Mielo. Mobazane just trying to get away safely using the heavy spin, but there's a wave of minions coming soon, and it's nothing but a tank and a support to defend. ZNU Gaming have long. They've taken it the long haul. Mielo back up right now. Minions locked on. KeelJ trying to lock on as well. Just get onto the base, but there's 2 minions still standing. Smon's Force does drop. Too much damage onto Mielo. It's looking like they're out of trouble here, possibly. Minions coming out, but there's still a Lord coming soon. ZNU gonna try to close things out.
Calm down, XYG. You have an Evolved Lord to play with. You can still play around with it. 22 seconds on Basic, 26 seconds on Mar. You can wait for the Evolved Lord, but they want to go for it.
Penalty zone. Cold World sent back to the base to try to heal up. Lord about to close the distance. ZNU Gaming seconds away from a victory. Put one on the board. Cloud9 back off, and ZNU tie the score. 1-1. China has showed up.